Okay, so our map is looking good, chugging along. Now, let's set our title, all right? And I know we haven't done this in our other maps, but what I'd like to do for our final maps in for the midterm is have a title on each one of them, and you're going to have what's called a map book. And so it will be a series of pages on the natural resources of this area. Okay, and don't worry, it doesn't take long at all. So let's grab this insert rectangle text, and we're just going to draw out a box about that big. And then the best way to handle text, okay, is not to zoom in and try and play with it. The best way is just to double click on the icon here. And then once again, your element pane opens. And this time it's working with text, okay? And so let's start at the beginning. Not sure where they start you there, but we're going to come over to options, okay? And you can literally type your text in here, okay? And so we're simply going to call this level 3 ecosystems on the Llano Estacado. Okay. Now, I don't know why they don't make that just kind of go in there, but we're just going to call this title. Okay. So, paragraph fitting strategy. We don't want anything. We're going to tell it exactly how big we want the text. And so let's do that now by coming over to text symbol. All right. And I'd like us to use this really cool font I found just to keep it simple for everybody. It's called Century Gothic. Sounds weird, but it's going to look good. I think you're going to like it. We're going to bump this size way up to, let's do a 28. Okay, we can do a lot more than that. Let's try a 48. Okay. And let's take it back to 28, but here you can put your cursor in there and just start moving your mouse, and that'll look good. Now let's stretch out our box a bit, because one thing that I like to do, okay, we're on text symbol, is come over here to the paragraph, and under letter spacing, this looks really nice. Do 100%, okay? And that might be a little much, so let's just do 80, and we're gonna make that work, okay? We'll just have to drag that out. Okay, now while we're here, let's make this box smaller, okay, because we're gonna fill it in, okay? All right. Oh, jeez. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so if that keeps happening, you can lock your map frame, and now that works fine. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, let's come over. We're going to take care of the placement in a bit. Okay. We don't. Okay, now here we go. Is on the elements, we have multiple elements selected, so that's not good. Let's come over here to title and double click on it. Okay. And under text, let's go to this paintbrush, and we don't want a border, but we definitely want a background. Okay, so let's make that a white. All right, and come here to color properties, and let's just make that a little bit transparent. Maybe like a 26, 30, somewhere around there. Okay, now I want to center that, and like I said, sometimes it just gets to be kind of crazy working in here, trying to find what you want. Okay, so if you are under text symbol, under general, and you go to position, you can center that. Nice. And then we can just center that on the page using our smart guides. There it is. Okay, you'll see that little guy pop up. And you can just leave that alone. Okay, and hit a save. And then one last thing I want us to do is open this box up and just grab your polygon tool, and I want us to make an outer border. Okay, so just use your guides. Okay, and we're going to call this outer border. Okay, and let's check our positioning. So boom, I'm perfect on 2024 00, all that's good. We're going to come to symbol. Okay, and the outline color is black, and let's just make that a 0.75. Okay, and I think solid stroke. Okay, let's leave all of that alone. It gets a little nutty. All right, now don't worry about doing all of this for your other maps, because all we have to do is select all of these items, copy them, and paste them on our other maps when you're ready to do your exports for your map book. It's going to be pretty simple. Okay, let's do a Control S. And the last supplemental layer I want to add is our beautiful contour lines. So let's open up this database. Okay, and I'm going to put the contour shell up right below hydrology. Okay. And of course we can't do that. So first thing, let's get it off of our legend. We can right click and just choose remove. Okay. Now we went over this in the first mini section. We just want these all to be symbolized the same way. So remember how we do that. We go to symbology and we say, hey, we don't want unique values. We just want the same symbol for each one. We're going to click on that, and we're going to make it hollow. Okay, so let's come here. So the color is going to be a no color. Okay, and that 0.7 I thought would be too much. Let's take it to a 0.45, but I love these contours, man, especially with the way they just are so married to the hydrology, and that's really what it's all about. Okay, now last step, let's get our ecosystem. Let's turn on our terrain. Okay, and let's turn on our ecosystems. And of course, we're not going to have it look like that. So we're going to select our ecosystems, and we're going to come up here to feature layer. And remember these magic blend modes. So we are going to choose multiply. All right, and now we need to make a copy of this because that's obviously too dark. So right click on your layer, choose copy. All right, come up to your map, not your map frame, but your map. Right click and choose paste, and then drag this guy down on top of the original. And instead of multiply, we're going to come up to feature layer, and let's choose overlay. Okay, that should brighten it up. Okay, yeah, it brightens it up pretty good. I might give this like a 30% transparency. I mean, I am, but remember at this point, you guys are getting really good at this, and these maps are really yours. So whatever you feel looks good. All right, now it put both legends on here, and we only want the one that we formatted. Okay, we don't want this second guy. So let's make sure we we remove the one we don't want, okay? And that's going to be this one here on the bottom. So right click on that, remove it from the legend, okay? And so far, we're looking pretty good. All right, now this is something I know you guys aren't going to be thrilled about, but we need to do this, okay? Remember, your legends are critical. So click on that legend and right click on it and choose convert to graphics. Okay, this isn't going to take long at all, but it's going to be really important because these colors don't really match. Now they are the EPA colors, but we really want them to match the darker colors that we've used, the cooler colors, so to speak. So it's super simple. Let's just start with this Edwards Plateau. That's going to be down here, and these must be the New Mexico mountains. Okay, so click, let's lock that outer border. Let's lock our title. We don't want to lock our legend, obviously. Okay, so click on your legend and then click again close to that. Come on, fella. Okay, and then let's see. Let's go up to let's right click this guy. Anytime I get it, before it would just open up, let's go to properties and go to symbol. And now here, you just grab this eyedropper, and then do you see that square above your eyedropper? That's telling you which pixel you're gonna select. So just get one that's a bit darker, okay? And it just makes it darker. Okay, now let me get, you may not even need to do all of these, but I definitely want to do this yellow one. So come up to symbol, grab this guy, eyedropper it. Okay, and then this pink one definitely needs it. All right, this is the point in those cool YouTube videos where they speed through it. So I'm just gonna do, okay, so I'm done there. And now I'm gonna select on this guy and see if they will let me paint a background in white. And it looks like they will, but I want a bit of a border. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. Nice. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna take, oops, let's grab this whole thing. Take that down, and I'll line it up there with my title block. Okay, so we're looking good. Now, the last thing we need to do a Control S and save. Okay, and I'd like you to come up to Layout. Okay, and choose this full extent. It gets everything centered. Okay, you can even right click here in the ruler and just turn off your guides so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. And now this is the last thing you want to do. We can lock our legend. Is we are going to want to make our hydrology, and you can hold down Control and select, well, let's just do one at a time. We're going to do hydrology, and it's a group layer, so you could just select that, and the layer blend is going to be multiply. Okay, so that sinks it in like really nicely. Now, transportation. One thing we didn't do, my fault, is we've got to label these fellas, but we already did. So click on primary roads and come up to labeling, and it should just label the way we had it set up in our original map. And then what we want to do with this layer is come up to feature layer, and under blend we're also going to choose multiply. Those should have been in shields. So come up to labeling and click on the text symbol, scroll down to the bottom and just choose Shield 2. I just want to make sure they're big enough. You know what? This is a nice natural map, and we've got good stuff in there. We're not going to mess around with transportation at all. Let's get it out of here. Right click. You're gone. Okay, now we did talk about doing the counties, but to be honest, looking at it now, it's full. It's busy enough, and visually I think this is good. I mean, some of the colors, I'm not a huge fan of the mustard yellow, but we got to stick with, you know, those key colors that the EPA has. All right, now once this baby stops spinning, come up to share, because this map is ready for your midterm. All right, and go to export layout, okay, and choose PDF. Okay, make sure it's going in your exports folder. I want to make sure. Yeah, there we go. And then exports, and we're just going to call this guy ecosystems. Okay, and now you want to output it as a JPEG and slide this a little closer to max. It really should be around 80. And compress your vector. And then this is a big one. So to the raster resample, if you take this anywhere else than 1, it's really not going to look good at all, for especially when you want to print it, which I hope you do, because you guys have been making some really, really nice maps. Okay, now this is going to take a little bit of time, but when you're ready, just hit export. And don't worry, the midterm isn't going to be that hard. Basically, what we're going to be doing is just copying some of the stuff we did today. We're going to be refining those maps we did before just a bit, nothing major. And then we're going to put it all together in a PDF binder. Okay, so I'm giving you a few extra days for this one because the videos didn't come out until today. But as always, feel free to email me if you have any questions. Thanks.